6 o'clock news starts right now.
San Antonio City Council members have a better idea how they want to spend millions of dollars that remain from the American Rescue Plan Act.
Yeah, to jog your memory, $200 million given to the city of San Antonio through this COVID-19 stimulus package provided by the White House.
And today, a committee presented a spending plan that focuses on infrastructure, community programs, emergency housing, and more.
Our Alicia Barrera breaks down the plan.
City Council gathered today to discuss how to invest $199.4 million from the American Rescue Act Fund to help strengthen San Antonio. The recommended spending plan includes 4 categories. More than $90 million for impactful investments to develop mental health, youth, digital inclusion, arts, and senior programs, but also capital projects that benefit the city's infrastructure, Texas Biomed, Educare, Texas A&M, and Morgan's Wonderland.
I also, in that same vein, support the full funding of $15 million for Morgan's Wonderland.
Another $50 million are reserved for pandemic response and emergency preparedness, which includes masks and testing. The third category, immediate needs, would invest about $10 million for emergency housing and $30.9 million for small business investments. And lastly, $10 million for an employee compensation program. The lengthy proposal comes after council input and citizen input from several town halls held in November of 2021 and an online survey. City Council committees will continue to review community input and work to develop a process on how the funds will be rolled out.
It'll be next Thursday that City Council will meet again to continue the process of approving the plan for these ARPA funds, which have to be allocated by 2024 and spent by 2026. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Our local positivity rate is hovering close to 40%, the highest yet, according to Metro Health. As we told you yesterday, we've seen a startling amount of new COVID cases in the last 5 weeks compared to when the pandemic began. Our Jesse Degollado talks to Metro Health about what that signals as we try to put an end to this nearly 2-year-old pandemic.
Metro Health's numbers tell the story. From late December through last Monday, just over 125,000 cases of COVID-19 have been reported. That's almost 27% of the more than 464,700 cases throughout the entire pandemic. According to Metro Health, the highly contagious Omicron variant was to blame for most, if not all, of the cases in the past month.
So that might be one of the reasons that's contributing to the increase in cases that we've seen over these winter holidays.
Espinosa says Metro Health is still analyzing the data it's been compiling.
We'll be looking at the impact on the community with regards to age of cases, age of hospitalizations, age of deaths, and see if there's any change in those groups too.
There's no doubt, she says, the Omicron surge has impacted area hospitals, but it's too early to say whether the number of deaths have increased.
What I can say from the previous surges, we saw fewer deaths as the surges continued on.
This is now the 4th surge over the summer and winter months.
And so it's not necessarily that it's unexpected. We will need more data to see whether that trend continues.
Espinosa says she's encouraged to see more and more people are getting tested. And although many of them have been vaccinated, many others still aren't.
We really want to encourage individuals to do everything that they can to protect themselves, their family, their friends, and their loved ones.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
And while speaking with Metro Health officials today, we also got an update on how many of those $100 HEB gift cards are still left. They say out of the 10,000 gift cards purchased, 7,275 have been given out as of Monday. To refresh your memory, the gift cards are given out at Metro Health vaccine pop-up clinics. On your screen, clinics happening tomorrow. The gift cards are for those getting the Johnson & Johnson 1-dose shot or the 2nd-dose shots for both Pfizer and Moderna.
Big buildings and big plans have risen around the stretch of road, but could the state take back a portion of Broadway? Tomorrow, the Texas Transportation Commission will meet and discuss whether it will revise course on a 7-year-old decision. That decision gave the city of San Antonio control of a 2.2-mile stretch of Broadway. So why the change? Well, the state has an issue with the city's redesign plans for Broadway between I-35 and Burr Road. Those plans include reducing lanes, making bigger sidewalks, improving bike lanes, and some landscaping. The state believes those changes will increase congestion, perhaps on some state roads like 281. But city officials say the state has known about these plans for years. The state only now expressing concerns about reducing the number of lanes from 6 to 4.
Our view is they told us in 2014 they are going to give that one back to us. And in good faith, we start planning. We went to the public vote based on that. We spent money on that one. And they have been partnered with us. If they were going to change their mind, they should have changed a long time ago, not yesterday.
The state says the handoff of Broadway was contingent on a plan acceptance letter, which has never been issued. That means it still belongs to the state. We have Mayor Ron Nirenberg scheduled for our KSAT Q&A guest coming up later in this newscast. We plan to ask him more about this Broadway situation. That's coming up around 6:30.
More guns on local campuses. Yesterday, we told you about a Steele High School student who was arrested after bringing a gun to school. Well, now we have learned that 2 students from John Jay High School also arrested for doing the same. Both incidents happened this month. The most recent being on Tuesday when a gun was found in a student's backpack. The second incident happened back on January 18th. The John Jay principal says that both students will, quote, be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, end quote.
A mother in the hospital recovering after police say she was beaten by a baseball bat and stabbed the suspects, her 2 sons. Police called to the apartment complex off West Military Drive near Penn Road and Highway 151. Police found the 16-year-old son still inside the apartment. After a search, the other 12-year-old son was also found. Also during their search, they found a baseball bat beneath the playground bench. Both of those sons are in police custody at this hour.
Using a warmer too close to a mattress in an attempt to stay warm leads to a house fire on the south side. That fire was reported just before 9 this morning at a home off of Keat Street, not far from Division Avenue and I-35. By the time crews got there, flames could be seen coming from the windows and the roof. The homeowner hurt his hand and was taken to a hospital. Damage to the house is estimated at around $85,000. A car next door was also damaged.
The downtown redevelopment of Civic Park on the Hemisphere grounds has been going on since 2012. Today, a step forward with the groundbreaking of Phase 1. Our Japhanie Gray explains why city leaders are calling it the critical piece of the Hemisphere redevelopment.
I know what all of you are thinking. It's about time. We've had so many different delays as it relates to the pandemic and closures, but we're finally here breaking ground on a very important project that brings San Antonio together, which will be the crown jewel of our park system.
Civic Park at Hemisphere is a multi-million-dollar project, decades in the making. Wednesday's groundbreaking was dedicated to Phase 1 of the $27 million voter-approved project.
Civic Park is well on its way to becoming a point of immense pride for our community, and importantly, something that outsiders can be jealous of.
With the amount of features included in this project, it will take a lot more than just a shovel to get the job done.
There's a ton of green work that'll happen, so we're going to do a lot of imported soil. A lot of trees are coming onto the site. There'll be shallow pools that will really be the main feature and main attraction, and it's really a destination.
Civic Park will also have free public Wi-Fi to increase the community broadband access and an expanded public restroom with a universal changing station for people with special needs. Phase 1 is slated to open at the end of next year.
There was a ton of input early on as the design was starting to take shape, and that community voice has really pulled through the design. Now it's our job to help bring that design and make it tangible.
Japhanie Gray, KSAT 12 News.
Now, plans are already underway for Phase 2 of Civic Park. A bond committee recommending $18 million for the project in the 2022 municipal bond to complete construction, hopefully by late 2024.
That is going to totally change that area.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at traffic at this hour. The TransGuide camera here at Highway 90 in Nogalitos, and there are no real tie-ups to tell you about. All around town, we've taken a look and smooth sailing.
You know, back to the Civic Park.
Yes.
They used it for the New Year's celebration for the Tricentennial,
right?
remember? And I was like, wow, why aren't they? Well, now they're going to start developing it, apparently.
Fiesta. Here we go.
Can you imagine for Fiesta and things like that? That'll be perfect.
Oh, I can imagine, all right. Yes, I can. All right, today we started off at 47, then by the afternoon we made it up to 56. Of course, that's below the average high, which is now 64 degrees. Check out that record of 87 set back in 1975. Readings right now, just mostly in the 50s. We have a few 40s out there, including Kerrville 49, Los Maples 45, Uvalde 53, Seguin 55, Stinson 58 degrees. Fairly similar temperatures, Bernie at 50. And we'll gradually fall through the 40s tonight, and tomorrow morning settle, I think, in the lower 40s. Another gray and gloomy day, but we could actually get some rain from the clouds eventually. We'll talk about that and a warming trend in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. A bystander caught on video taking down a chase suspect. This happened yesterday in Houston. Deputies were chasing the suspect they say was in a stolen truck. Eventually, the vehicle chase came to a stop behind an industrial complex, but that's when the suspect took off running. And that's when a man named Devin stepped in. He sprinted after that suspect, tackling him. You can see it right there. The barefoot suspect was taken down and into custody.
I wasn't even thinking. I just got out in like a hero moment. He say, okay. I say, stay down, don't move. He say, okay, I'm gonna stay down.
Devin is a former high school track athlete and a trained security guard. In the right place at the right time, Devin says that he hopes the man caught will learn from his mistakes and try to do better.
Back here at home, city leaders doing what they can to combat the ongoing blood shortage. It is still a major issue. Tomorrow, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center hosting a blood drive on the northwest side. It's happening at Stevenson Middle School off Tesla Road from 1 until 6. Donations are by appointment only. You can sign up by visiting southtexasblood.org/SA challenge. We also have information on other blood drives on KSAT.com.
They are almost here. We are all days away from taking a big old bite out of some Girl Scout cookies. We were there as the Scouts were picking up this year's cookies.
I think that's my order.
Yeah.
Planning for the future, that's what one county fire department is doing. We're going to show you the program that invests in first responders by reaching out to teenagers.
Why would you want to keep something the same that desperately needs to grow?
That's a question some in San Antonio are asking as the state sets its sights back on taking over part of Broadway. City plans for the roadway are being dismissed, so what does this mean for business owners? Hasn't happened yet. That's the proposal, though. We're going to hear from those owners tonight. And what happened to a deal between Bexar County commissioners and the sheriff's office over body cam footage? It appeared that footage would be released in 10 days with proper funding, but the sheriff says it could take longer to release that video. So what about the money? We're going to check in with commissioners. Plus, we take a look into the world of esports, how San Antonio is playing a role in this venture tonight on the Night Beat.
They look out for their community and now for the future of first responders. Bexar County Emergency Service District 12 Fire and Rescue. It's a combination department serving the far east side of the county. Our Max Massey tells us about a partnership between the ESD and East Central High School to prepare students to become first responders.
There's always people that somebody call for help, and then there's others that are like, well, I am the help. I want to be able to help and stop it.
Penelope Telemontes is a senior here at East Central High School, and she is the captain of the East Central High School Fire Cadets. This is a 2-year program for juniors and seniors, and it surely makes for a unique high school experience.
Doing some PT workouts, and then we start our day in the classroom with inspection, checking our uniforms, make sure everything's straight, we look clean for class, and then we start on whatever chapter we're doing in our book.
And it's not just the writing portion and making sure the uniform is good to go. These students, they have to go through the tough physical challenges as well.
How much you have to really trust and count on your teammates is something that I wasn't expecting. Everything you verbalize, you must repeat so everybody's on the same page so nobody gets lost or injured.
Relax and turn sideways.
This is clearly an interactive program, one that helps the students learn and prepare them for a career. But as Assistant Fire Chief for Bexar County ESD 12 tells us, the program also helps fill the big need across Texas.
You look at the state website, there's tons of jobs right now. With this, it brings the students that are from this communities, these areas, and it gives them that opportunity to get these classes and get the certifications to be able to come work in their community where they grew up, just like me.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
I love that.
Yeah, future first responders.
Yeah, some people
like it
call
too.
for help. Some people say we are the help.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
All right, so the weather situation. I know there are areas, there's parts of our viewing area that have been getting great sun. Just hasn't been San Antonio.
It's not here.
No, and especially basically the northern portion of Bexar County over the past couple of days. I mean, we've had some sun in a few spots, but several locations just under the clouds for a few days. Cloudy and cool again tomorrow, and that goes for pretty much everybody. Shot at some rain by tomorrow night, so those clouds could at least develop a few showers, have something to show for them. Then a warm-up. That's on the way. If you don't like this cool and cloudy weather, the sun's going to return and some warmer temperatures are on the way. So let's get right to it. Here's a look at the visible satellite imagery, and you see the white and gray on the screen indicating the low clouds throughout the day today. New Braunfels, Gonzales, those locations, they had some sunshine north and east of town, but temperatures didn't really take off like they did yesterday when we had the sun. Instead, you just see the significant cloud cover across our area. And across the state, what I want to point out is off to the north, up in the Panhandle and North Texas, that's where we actually have some snow falling. It's kind of hard to see it in this little view here, but we'll try to get it a little bit bigger for you. There we go. There it is. And that's we actually have some snow falling up there. And that blue indicates the light frozen precipitation, a little bit of freezing rain, and then snow on top of it within parts of the Panhandle and now stretching toward Wichita Falls and into Oklahoma. That was some moisture we could have used, unfortunately all staying to the north of us. And I saw reports of up to 2 inches of rain in parts of the Panhandle. Snow, up to 2 inches of snow in parts of the Panhandle. This is all caused by this little dip, that ripple in the upper level flow, that counterclockwise circulation that'd be associated with it. And that's the disturbance that's staying to the north of us. Our next one is basically dropping out of Canada and heading southward. It's going to get here by tomorrow night and even give us a weak little cold front or more of a wind shift line than anything. But here's our futurecast. Tomorrow, significant cloud cover again. We'll have some breaks in the clouds, but I think overall just another fairly gray day. Then we get into tomorrow night. We're talking 10, 11 o'clock, and that's when a few sprinkles and light showers could develop. Right now, we're thinking the best odds are along and south of Highway 90 for the rain. But don't get your hopes too high in terms of accumulations. Looks like another event where we could see maybe a 1/10 of an inch here and there. And that's mostly south of Highway 90. But that's where we need the rain the most, according to the latest drought monitor, which will be updated tomorrow, by the way. Dimmitt, LaSalle, McMullen counties, that's where we have the most significant drought in our area. But overall, from the hill country to the Gulf Coast, to the Rio Grande, I mean, we're thinking about 30% coverage tomorrow night and then lingering into very early on Friday. Then another slight chance as we get into next week with another disturbance. Let's talk temperatures. So far this January, 1.7 degrees below average. And you see, contrary to December, many blue days indicating below average. And the coldest temperature we've had so far this month, 26 degrees. Right now, or high temperatures today, I should say, we're in the 50s again. Made it to 62 in Cotulla. That was an exception. Kerrville 50. Right now we're at 54 in San Antonio, Kerrville 49, 55 Carrizo Springs. Tomorrow morning, we are expecting some upper 30s in some parts of the hill country and locations north of town. So Canyon Lake about 39 in the morning, Kerrville 37. Meanwhile, 46 Pleasanton, 42 San Antonio. Then by the afternoon, another unseasonably cool day. The average high is 64, but we're going to be stuck in the 50s for most of us tomorrow afternoon. 57 Losoya, 59 Elmendorf, Timberwood Park 57, Stone Oak and Helotes about 55. And considerable cloud cover again. But look what temperatures do this weekend. We're looking at a lot of sunshine and back into the 60s, even close to 70 on Sunday. And then I think we get into the 70s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, but that's in advance of our next cold front, which is likely to arrive on Wednesday and have a big impact on temperatures toward the end of next week.
We just need some sun. Thanks, Adam.
All right, let's head to the AT&T Center now. Greg Simmons standing by live as the Spurs get ready to take on the second part of a back-to-back, Greg. And they're playing a team that is quietly having a very good year.
Yeah, vastly improved. Remember, they just fought to get into the playoffs last year. This year, they would be one of the top teams at playoff time because they're at number 3 right now in the Western Conference. We're talking about the Memphis Grizzlies, who have come to San Antonio to try and beat up on the Spurs after the Spurs were in Houston last night. We'll get you ready for the big game tonight. And Kellen Moore may be staying in Dallas, and not by maybe his choice. Coming up. Good evening, everybody, and welcome live to the AT&T Center, where the Spurs play host to the much-improved Memphis Grizzlies tonight in the second game of back-to-backs. That's after roughing up the Rockets last night in Houston. Now, you can call it a Rocket revenge, if you will, because that was after Houston was able to beat the Spurs during their 7-game homestand, and now last night was a payback by total domination. DeJounte Murray led the Spurs with 19 points, who also had 10 assists. In fact, his 10 assists were part of a 38-assist performance by the Spurs last night, the second most on the season, and now DeJounte just one triple-double away from tying David Robinson's franchise best, 14.
He's having a great season. He's rebounding, he's assisting, he's scoring, he's running the show for us, doing a fine job. So that gets contagious. You know, when you're making those passes, it makes it easier for everybody else to understand what they have to do. So he's definitely setting the tone in that regard.
Sky's the limit for him. You know, I've played with a lot of point guards, and, you know, he's grown into being one of those guys, you know, an all-star type player. You know, he's an unselfish guy that just keeps getting better and better. And he's a great leader, and, you know, we're lucky to have him.
The Memphis Grizzlies are for real this year. They're third in the Western Conference, winning 7 of their last 10 games, coming off a loss to the Mavericks, 104-91 on Sunday. Ja Morant is on fire this season, averaging a career-best 25.3 points a game. This is his first second meeting with Memphis this season, following their 118-105 loss in Memphis to start their recent 7-game road trip, where they won only one game amid the Spurs' worst COVID outbreak of the season. Here is a tip time tonight, 7:30. Highlights for you tonight on the Night Beat. On this day 2 years ago, we woke up to the tragic news that Kobe Bryant, along with 8 others, including his daughter Gia, had died in a helicopter crash in Southern California. The 9 were headed to Thousand Oaks, California for Gia's basketball game when, according to the FAA, the pilot of the helicopter became disoriented when trying to fly through fog that had formed along the California coastline.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore is not expected to receive any head coaching offers and is more than likely going to stay in Dallas. Now, that is according to Yahoo at the latest like just a few hours ago when they reported that, even though he's had interviews with Miami, Jacksonville, Denver, and Minnesota. It's after the Cowboys led the league in points per game and yards per game in 2021. But that debacle against the San Francisco 49ers in the opening round of the NFL playoffs didn't help his cause. That's where the 49ers outgained the Cowboys 169 to just 77 yards on the ground, and CeeDee Lamb only had 1 reception for 5 yards. The 2 big questions for the Houston Texans this offseason is who will be their next head coach and what are they going to do with a 3rd overall pick in the NFL draft. General Manager Nick Caserio has indicated he's not afraid to trade the number 3 overall pick, but if he keeps it, many NFL experts believe the Texans will use that high pick to select an offensive or defensive lineman, with the Texans leaning towards Michigan's Aiden Hutchinson. That's after it appears the Texans are willing to keep Davis Mills as their starting quarterback, with Deshaun Watson's future in Houston very much in doubt. And congratulations to Pete Padilla, who's been named the new head coach of the Holmes Huskies. He returns to the campus where he served as an assistant coach for 4 years before moving to Harlan, where he was the Hawks defensive coordinator. And I can actually remember covering him when he played for Burbank just a few years ago. Live from the AT&T Center, Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
You know, Greg, that reminds me of a joke one of my friends sent in to me when I told Kasky, I go, you know, we're not considered hip anymore.
No.
He said we're considered closer to broken hip. So there you go.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
Our KSAT Q&A coming up next.
We get to the bottom of some of the major issues that are facing the city of San Antonio during our KSAT Q&A, and today is no different. We are joined by Mayor Ron Nirenberg to talk, among other things, about what is happening with this 2.2-mile stretch of Broadway that the state gave to the city, and now the state's apparently taking it back. Am I describing that right, Mr. Mayor?
As absurd as that sounds, that appears to be what is being attempted by the state. So after about a decade of planning and collaboration with the state, in which we voluntarily took over Broadway, and we had subsequent planning and development activities and a 2017 bond vote where the public supported a redevelopment of that stretch by over 70%. Now that planning has been underway, community development meetings, thousands of hours, man hours, and hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent by the public and private sector on this stretch. The state is going to vote, at least it's on the agenda to vote, to rescind the order that started this whole process 6 years ago. So it's really quite mind-boggling what's going on. No one can seem to explain it. And so we're asking for them not to vote. And let's talk. What are they trying to accomplish? Why have we been collaborating for the last 6 years and spending money and time on this project, and all of a sudden they want to totally reverse it?
The state is supposed to meet tomorrow morning to talk about this. So do you feel like there is any room for discussion? I mean, do you have any indication that that request to have a conversation is actually being heard?
Well, I mean, everyone who needs to be contacted has been contacted. There haven't been many answers that I'm aware of, not many calls returned to the engineers and other folks involved in the project, but there is a meeting taking place. We're going to go state our case again. And really the call is to let's come back to the table. If there's something that it has changed with regard to the state's position on what we're doing and have been doing for the last 7 years, and the public has supported through votes and lots of expenditures, let's sit down and talk. But the most absurd thing to happen would be to reverse that vote.
If the state does take over, does that mean all the plans that the city has, including the bond money they were going to put in to Broadway, just stops?
Effectively, yes. And that's why it's so absurd to even discuss it in this way. Again, there has been thousands of hours, hundreds of meetings, hundreds of millions of dollars spent, public sector, private sector investment, a bond vote by the public in 2017 by roughly 70% to approve this project. We've been doing collaboratively with TxDOT ever since. And now all of a sudden on this agenda is a vote to rescind the order that started it way back in 2014. So it's really a head scratcher, and we're calling for some conversation. We're asking why now, what's going on, and we really need those responded to if we're going to come to any sort of conclusion. But yes, effectively, it would terminate everything that's been going on for a long time there on Broadway.
Any thoughts that this has to do with the governor of Texas, that this is Greg Abbott getting revenge against San Antonio and Bexar County for being a thorn in his side during some of these COVID issues?
Well, we've had disagreements, but remember, throughout COVID, we all have had the singular goal of saving lives. At least we should. There's no answers with the lack of any information and answers on the questions that we're asking about TxDOT. There's a lot of speculation, but I would think that if there is a single nonpartisan issue that we can all agree on in the state of Texas, it would be our roadways. And so we've agreed to take on that roadway redevelopment. We've got redevelop it. We've spent our own money. We've got our public supporting the project. So let's move it forward. Let's sit down and talk. But without any answers, there's a lot of speculation.
We'll see what happens in that meeting tomorrow. But let's turn now to COVID for a moment. We talked earlier in this show about how the city was discussing how to use the millions of dollars from the American Rescue Plan Act. So where are we in terms of our recovery here locally? And what do you think the biggest needs are that still exist?
Well, the impacts economically and on a human scale in San Antonio and throughout this world have been severe, and they've been ongoing. So we are going to be working on continuing some of the immediate relief, housing, health. We have a huge portion of the recovery funds earmarked for ongoing COVID health impacts and testing activities, vaccination activities, et cetera. But when we get into recovery, and what these dollars are really meant to do is to help our economy rebound. And so we are discussing things like small business relief. We're also working on restoration of some infrastructure dollars. All of this process is playing out, and will, over the next few weeks, And really, this is 5-year funds that have been made available by the federal government. And we're going to be working with the public, which has already given us tremendous input through community town halls, et cetera. So San Antonio, just like every city in the country, has had its economic impacts. They've been prolonged through different waves. And Omicron, of course, has been disappointing in that it's continued some of those impacts. But we'll get through it. And the council is engaged right now in a process to best allocate those resources, given the limitless needs that we have, but limited funds to accomplish what we need to.
A final question for you. Are you getting any indication from health officials that you've been dealing with and some of the graphs that you've looked at that we're starting to plateau when it comes to this latest surge?
You know, our wave started a little bit later than, the coastal communities. And so what we have seen over the last several days now is kind of a slowdown in the growth of cases as well as the growth of hospital cases. And today we saw a graph of just how much we've been impacted, how many cases, the total volume of cases of Omicron over the last few weeks of this wave. It's been astounding. Many times what we were seeing even in the previous waves, just a lot of COVID out there. The good news is that the wave of hospital cases has begun to plateau and is actually not anywhere near where the proportion of cases were in previous waves. So what is true is this: if we want to protect ourselves against Omicron and get through this wave, we need to continue to get folks vaccinated. Thankfully, over 73% of our community has done that. And that's why we've seen, despite the fact there's a lot of cases out there and a lot of infections, the severity of those are much lower in terms of overall cases in the hospital in proportion. So that's good news. I think we're beginning to plateau, and hopefully we'll get through this very quickly.
San Antonio Mayor Ron Nierenberg, appreciate your time.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good night.
You too.
We'll be right back. Girl Scout cookie season officially here. Thousands of area Girl Scouts receiving cookies to distribute to customers in San Antonio and 20 surrounding counties.
Last year, they sold more than 1 million boxes of Girl Scout cookies, and they expect this year's sales to be even bigger. Our Tiffany Huertas has a look at what types of skills they're learning along the way and what new cookie to look out for this year.
2,900 boxes.
One after another, cars lined up at this warehouse in the northeast side of San Antonio to pick up Girl Scout cookies Wednesday morning.
We're picking up 971 cases, which is roughly 10,000.
Christina Reagan came prepared with a moving truck to pick up cookies for her troop.
These girls have already made their posters. They've already got their little signs ready for the booths. They are so excited.
Soon you will see Girl Scouts selling cookies in front of your favorite neighborhood stores and restaurants.
We are going to be able to be in front of more neighborhood stores than we were this time last year. Last year it was all about contactless porch delivery and online sales.
The Girl Scouts are learning different skills. Check it out. Here on the box it tells you they're learning goal setting, decision making, money management, people skills, and business ethics.
Helps them become more outgoing. They learn about budgeting.
Alana Carmichael was first in line this morning to pick up this year's new cookie, Adventurefuls, a brownie-inspired cookie with caramel-flavored cream and a hint of sea salt.
My parents tried them and my daughter tried them, and they're in love with them. So I ordered extras because I know they're going to go fast.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Let us introduce you to Rosie, an African penguin who is small in stature but has such a unique walk it'll leave you smiling. She was born in 2019 and quickly Odyssey Aquarium staff in Scottsdale, Arizona realized she had some skeletal abnormalities, so staff got together to create a penguin-sized jumperoo to help strengthen the muscles in her legs. And now she is strong enough to walk her own little unique walk on her very own.
Love that. Aquarium staff say now Rosie's an animal ambassador, inspiring kids in the area with disabilities. All right, Pennsylvania's Hershey Bears. They're a hockey team. They set a new record with their teddy bear toss. Officials for the minor league hockey team say fans tossed more than 52,000 stuffed animals on the ice at the Giant Center. After the team scored its first goal Saturday night, it breaks the record of more than 45,000 stuffed animals collected back in 2019. The toys will be donated to various charitable organizations.
One of the players is also donating $50,000 to Children's Hospital there. I think I saw a video of one of them diving into the pile of teddy bears.
Oh, really?
Nice. That was
That's
pretty cool.
great.
Okay, Dolly Parton certainly not slowing down. The singer is everywhere these days. On my coffee mugs, my keychains, my notebooks. Okay, so now she's launching a line of cake mixes with Duncan Hines. They're called Dolly's Southern Favorites. The available flavors include coconut and banana cake mixes with creamy or chocolate buttercream frosting.
Something else, Dolly, for you to buy.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and just in case you're wondering exactly why Dolly is so out there in the public these days, she's got a new album to promote. Like the cake mix, it comes out in March, and Myra will be purchasing both, probably.
Yes, Maybe I'll bring you guys a slice.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe. I was going to say maybe.
Hopefully the cake, not the album.
Yes.
You don't bring that. I insist on some more peanut brittle. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah.
She's good at that.
That is very true. The peanut brittle is a Christmas tradition that I look forward to every year.
Makes us wait till Christmas.
I know. All right, I'm looking forward to just seeing the sun for a little bit. That'd be nice.
Tell me about it. I mean, if we're going to have clouds, we might as well have something to show for them, but we haven't. It's just been gray and gloomy, and it's kept our temperatures on the cool side. At least afternoon highs have been below average. Next couple of days, we're looking at high temperatures in the mid-50s, about 10 degrees below average. By the weekend, we'll be back into the 60s with sunshine. And actually, I think we'll squeeze in some sunshine for a good portion of Friday. All right, let's talk temperatures as well. Even today, you take a look at our sky, and the gray low clouds kept us cool. We started off at 47. Then we only rose to 56 degrees, so only a 9-degree change from the morning on into the afternoon. You look at high temperatures across our area. I really want to point out Del Rio. Yesterday, 78. Today, 58. Partially because of those low clouds that are in place. So we're all feeling the 50s out there today, even upper 40s in parts of the hill country. Meanwhile, Victoria, Beeville, Cotulla did make it to 60 degrees. Those were the exceptions, though. Right now, 54 Hondo, 49 Kerrville, 52 New Braunfels, 54 San Antonio. And you look off to the north, that's where we've got temperatures in the 30s and 20s. Amarillo, 26. Lubbock right now 28, Midland at 30 degrees. That's where we had some wintry precipitation today. A light glaze of freezing rain on some surfaces and even some roadways in parts of the Panhandle, and then up to 2 inches of snow reported after that freezing rain. Those are for our friends off to the north, now moving into Oklahoma and through basically Wichita Falls area, about to clip the Metroplex there, far to the north of us. This dip in the upper level flow, that ripple, that's the upper level disturbance causing that activity. That moisture, unfortunately, we couldn't tap into it, but the next disturbance, I think we'll get a little bit of precipitation. Let's go through time. This is our futurecast. Tomorrow, more clouds. I mean, yeah, we'll have some breaks in the clouds periodically, but considerable cloud cover. Notice 4 o'clock here, nothing but gray indicated by the futurecast, and I think that's right on track. And then we get into tomorrow night, a little bit of energy, a weak little frontal boundary, and we could actually kickstart a few showers, mainly along and especially south of Highway 90, late Thursday night into the pre-dawn hours on Friday. As for accumulations, don't get your hopes too high. We're expecting maybe 1/10 of an inch here and there. I mean, I'm hoping it overperforms, but right now it looks like 1/10 of an inch is about the extent of what we could see, and that's mostly south of Highway 90. But remember, this is the area where we really need rainfall the most, where we have the most significant drought. And look at this, by noon Friday, clouds are out of here, and it's back to sunshine. That psychological boost, we'll be getting that Friday afternoon. So as for coverage, only about 30% of our area actually getting some of that rain. And then we get into the early part of next week, another disturbance could give us another slight chance into Monday. Tomorrow, though, just a gray day again, 42 in the morning. By the afternoon, we'll make it into the mid-50s, so very similar temperatures to the past few days. Still closer to 60 degrees, Cotulla, Beeville, Victoria, probably even the low 60s in some locations south and east of town. But generally speaking, mid-50s next couple of days. It's about 10 degrees below average. A little breezy on Friday, but hey, the sun's going to be back. And then into the weekend, great for outdoor activities. Some cool mornings, low to mid 30s, but afternoons, sunny, 60s, and then we're talking low 70s. But I want to stress briefly, early next week. Briefly.
Got it. Weekend looks good. Thank you, Adam.
In case you missed it, coming up next.
Hey there, good morning. It is Wednesday, January 26th.
Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us.
Take a look at your screen. Just a few hours ago, we received a photo. We received this mugshot of O.L. Wallace. Police say he opened fire at a gathering on MLK Day, January 17th. We're also learning more about what happened that day. According to an arrest report, a mother told police she recognized Wallace from an apartment complex where she used to live. She told investigators Wallace was walking suspiciously with a gun under his arm before he started shooting.
Okay, switching gears, and that's exactly what a Houston man did, taking it to another gear when he chased down another man who was running from law enforcement officers. Check out this video here. So the suspect was spotted driving a stolen truck, and deputies then tried to, of course, pull him over. Well, he ended up in an industrial complex and then took off running. That's when 26-year-old Devin, a former high school track athlete and trained security guard, started sprinting after the man. You can watch this right there. Look at him. He's catching up to him, sprinting after him. He finally gets him and then puts him into a bear hug right there, nearly takes him down. Devin said that he did that because he wasn't sure that the man had a weapon, and said that just overall his instincts just kicked in.
KSAT is getting ready to bring you a Defender's Investigation special that's coming up next week. It is called A Necessary Evil. It's about working with confidential informants, known criminals already in trouble with the law, who help police, deputies, and prosecutors with felony cases.
Law enforcement officials say they have been helpful in fighting local crime, but our defenders have found flaws in the practice, including instances where innocent people have gone to prison or lost their lives.
That is all our time. Thanks for watching the news at 6.
See you back here on the Night Beat at 10.